Well, hello there, my fellow rushers. How are you doing today? King Rex here, and today we have a very interesting hero design. This one was sent to me by Sergeant S, and if you've been following my series for a while, you've probably seen another hero design that he created. I think his name was Narcissus, if I remember correctly, and I was very impressed by it, so I wonder what he has in store for us. He created this hero called Ina, the Heraldic Paladin, and she also has a quote up in here, so let's try to impersonate her. Let the power of the crest consume you! She probably doesn't sound like that, but whatever. So here's her reference image, and as you can see, she looks pretty dope. I definitely dig her design. Definitely like the feather thingy going on top of her helmet. That definitely adds a little bit of extra detail. Here we have a little bit of extra information here. Ina also rides an armored unicorn, similarly to Jack-o'-lantern. Couldn't find any images for reference. It's okay. At least we know that she rides a armored unicorn. That's definitely a first. I haven't seen any hero riding a unicorn before, but that's definitely a interesting idea. And we also have a description for her, and as you can see, the story goes on for quite a while, and that's good. I like reading through long backstories. If you've seen some of my hero designs that I've sent to other YouTubers, you know that I like writing long backstories. So he's definitely getting automatically 1 point for putting in the effort to create a good backstory. But let's see what it's all about. So, let's dive into the description, shall we? Okay, let's dive into the description of this hero. Far away, in a distant land, there was a man named Manfred von Newmaker, a man that ruled the land, titled the Newmaker Plain. He was a vicious ruler, holding the entire land in his fist. All the residents were afraid of him and were more afraid of his royal guards. They were locally known as the Dark Horsemen. The Dark Horsemen were sent on expeditions by Newmaker. They would run through the Newmaker Plain, collect tax, and do cruel deeds to the people who would protest or refuse to listen to the Newmaker's command. Although they might seem heartless, they were not in enjoyment of the terror they brought upon the land. They were just like all the other people in the Newmaker's Plain. That only did the Newmaker's bidding, because if they rebelled, they were in risk of torment and loss of their families and loved ones. The royal guards had to get onto his good side to keep them safe. Ina was one of those people. Her old father fell sick to a deadly disease and had to join the Newmaker's guard to get him into a hospital housing for him to survive. She started as any other guard, sent on expeditions to collect tax and recruit workers to the Newmaker's great city. As she was in the guard, on the guards I think is the better term, but whatever, she would climb their ranks, grow more respected and feared within the Newmaker's Plain, and she started to grow cold to her dark deeds. In her early days in the guard, she would have a hard time taking money from the poor, as enslaving people away from their families, and she couldn't look, as she had to beat those who tried to rebel against the Newmaker's rule. But as she was growing more used to the cruel actions, she would start to lose guilt and become desensitized to them. After 4 years on the guard, Ina was the only member of the royal guards that was able to last that long as the Newmaker's guard. So sorry if I'm stuttering a little bit. I just woke up, so give me a pass on that one. She became the highest ranked person in the Newmaker's army. Everyone feared her. The peasants, the citizens, the member of the guards, even people from other lands lived in fear of General Ina of the Newmaker's guard. She would frequently command troops to war, conquering the lands, and with her on the lead of the army, the Newmaker's Plain was thriving. Soon enough, the borders of the Newmaker Plain would reach far enough to meet up with the borders of Leneria, and when the Newmaker himself was researching it, he found out about many of its powerful artifacts, such as the powerful Tear of Eleni, a very familiar item indeed. But the item he had in interest was the gem sitting on top of the Sunray Tower, an item that was able to melt most of anything when concentrating its power. He did not call a huge army to go fetch the gem, but he wanted to go himself, with the addition of one special warrior, and that warrior is Ina. I think it was Ina, was gonna be better, but whatever. After a long travel, they arrived to the Stormcloud's temple that was abandoned for a long while, or so they thought. As they reached the Sunray Tower, Newmaker told Ina his plan. He will use climbing equipment to climb up the Sunray Tower, and Ina will stand guard at the bottom and keep cover. He told her that this place has been long abandoned, and as long as they don't make a noise, they will be safe. But when he was almost at the top of the tower, his hand slipped and he hit himself with his climbing pick, and in pain he let out a near-piercing scream. As soon as he started yelling, a bunch of other noises started to pop up. Firstly, distant growls of wolves, then noises of their fast legs running towards them, banging of the troll war drums, and even noises of stomping abominable snowmen. Ina was absolutely terrified of the rapidly approaching creatures, but Newmaker was less worried as he carelessly continued climbing up the tower. She was growing more and more worried, and exclaimed to Newmaker, "Please help me up! I can't fight all of them!" Newmaker, who has already climbed up the tower, just replied, "Ah, how unfortunate. I guess you just have to find out all of this was an act." Ina was dazed in confusion. "What? What act are you talking about?" she screeched. "Oh, Ina, I'll be the first to admit, you are the best warrior that has ever served in my army. And to be brutally honest, I was afraid. I was afraid that you were too good at your job. I was afraid that if you were to change your mind about my command, you could lead an enormous revolution towards me. And now I don't need to worry because not even you can fight off these creatures all by yourself. And I have the Sunray Gem," proclaimed Newmaker as a devilish grin was growing larger and larger as he was talking. And then a thought came up in Ina's head. But what will happen to my father?" she screamed. Newmaker replied, "Well, I'll make sure he's safe. It's the least that I can do." By now, the creatures started to surround Ina, and Newmaker took the Sunray Gem, put it in his bag, and pulled out a large horn out of his bag. He blew into the horn, which called a wyvern to come to pick him up, to make his getaway. By the time Ina was done looking up to him, a wild winter wolf jumped onto her. It bit her hand, making her drop her sword onto the ground. Although she was able to get the wolf in a chokehold and knock it out. But her great battle prowess wasn't enough to save her. Troll warriors started to get their sharp spears around her, and she could barely hold them off. Despite all, she was able to fight off all of them, but she was bruised and injured, and eventually dropped onto the ground. When she gathered back her breath, she saw a shadow looming above her, and when she looked back up, a large yeti was standing above her, and before she could react, it crushed her below its massive hands. Wow, so she died. Okay. Ina was dead. Oh my god, alright, I guess she's dead. Interesting. No doubt about it. I like how he just specifies that she's dead, no matter what you think, like, dead. No way of getting back. Let's get back on track. But she opened her eyes. All around her was pitch black. She got up, back on her legs. She couldn't see anything around her except a distant light shining in the horizon. On the horizon. She couldn't do anything but look at the light, which seemed to grow closer. Eventually, she saw a figure marching towards her. She could make out what the creature was. It walked on four legs and had a similar silhouette of a deer. And it approached. As it approached, she was that she was that. Sh I think I think they're supposed to be saw, but whatever. Uh, she saw that the creature seemed to not have any face and wore a plain white mask without any distinguishable features. Ina didn't do anything but look in amazement as the bizarre creature was walking to her. Whatever. As it came to her, it just stopped in its tracks and started staring to her, at her. But whatever. Whatever. We have some typos here and there, but we're not gonna acknowledge them all that much. She started moving around it, but it followed her with its head. She was sure the creature was interested in her. She had nothing better to do than just ask, "Where am I?" Not expecting a response. But to her surprise, a disembellished voice started echoing through her head. "You are dead, but this is your afterlife." The news didn't move Ina very much. She already had the idea about what this place is. "Do I spend all of my time here from now?" B- boot, b- boot the voice. Whatever. I don't know what that word is. Let's move on. Presumably coming from from the creature replied, "Do not worry. This is not the afterlife that awaits everyone. You came here because you're special, and I can make you come back to the land of the living, more powerful than ever." Before Ina could think of a response, the creature started projecting a strange em- emblem from its forehead. "This is the Heraldic crest," the voice continued. "If you accept its power, you will be able to bring out the sacred heraldic. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce heraldic beasts, and the entire land of the living will quake below your command. Do you accept the power of the crest?" Sorry guys for stopping abruptly. Someone messaged me on Discord. Apologies. Now let's move on. Ina was skeptical, and before answering, cautiously asked, "Why would I accept it?" The voice immediately replied, "I think we both know a person that can prove very dangerous, and that you could target your anger towards. And that person is Manfred von Newmaker." Right after hearing Newmaker's name, she answered right away, "I accept the crest! What do I need to do?" The voice didn't reply. And the creature's forehead started glowing again. Out of it, a large sword popped out of its head. The creature lowered its head, so Ina could pull the sword out of it, which she did. As soon as she pulled the sword out, it started glowing, and both her eyes and the eyes of the creature started glowing purple, and the heraldic crest appeared on her forehead. Okay. Ina's lifeless body was laying in the snow at the Stormcloud's temple. Suddenly, the ground below her started glowing, and her rotting flesh began to regenerate. Her bruised armor started glowing a bright light, and soon enough, she came back to life looking better than ever. Okay, interesting. I'm not quite sure for how dead she was though. I mean, she already started rotting. Okay. Maybe it's something to do with space and stuff, I don't know. Instantly, she got back up to her legs and reached onto the ground to pull out the sword blessed by the crest. The ground below her started quaking, and out of the ground, a skeleton of a horse has risen. Flesh and hair started materializing onto the skeleton, and it formed the most elegant and beautiful horse. Heavy armor appeared onto the horse, and a long, white horn formed on the horse's head. It was a legendary heraldic unicorn. Ina hopped onto the unicorn and lifted her sword. And in a flash of many different beasts, and in a flash, many different beasts started rising from ancient slumber. Ina became the beacon that will bring the heraldic beasts back to the land of the living. She knew that Lineria was in danger from the terror of Newmaker's plane, but soon enough she realized a more intimate threat: the Twilight Elves. She offered to help in the siege against the dark forces, and from a Newmaker, and ask for Newmaker. I think that's what it's supposed to be. Um, let's start this again. She offered to help in the siege against the dark forces, and ask for Newmaker. He was destined to be defeated by a piece of machinery that will be written in legends. Ooh boy. Alright, well, we're done with the backstory, and I know that I wasn't in my best mood to read, but I read through it anyway. And to be honest, I like the backstory. It is definitely very interesting. I like the introduction of a new villain, like this new maker. This is a pretty interesting one. I'm not quite sure where he's located though. Like, we never know where his exact new maker's plane is. You know, the land that he rules over. But I definitely like it. She definitely has a good motivation to fight off against him, especially after he betrayed her and let her to die. I mean, imagine being drained out of your life force and then being crushed by a Yeti. That must be a bad way to go. Now, I'm not quite sure for how long she was dead though. Like, how can your flesh rot away if this event took like only a couple minutes? Because she met up with this deer thingy. It offered her the crest. She accepted it, and then she came back. Maybe time works differently after you're dead. Who knows? I'm not gonna question it, but so far I like the backstory. Well done, Sergeant. You did well. Now, he also provided us with the statistics of the hero from level 1 to level 10, which is good. Now, just a quick note for the people who want to send me hero designs in the future. Make sure that the stats of your hero are made in charts, so that way I can read through them a little bit faster, because now I have to scroll all the way down to get to level 10, which, it's fine by me, but just as an FYI. Okay, level 7, level 8, and here is level 10. Let's see what we have here. 480 HP. That's actually a little bit low. It's not like as low as Prince Dinas, but it's definitely a little bit more. Heal rate 49 per second, so that's good. She's gonna take a little bit less than 10 seconds to regenerate from 0 to full HP, which is good. Her damage is a melee, so she deals melee physical damage, 37 to 64, and her attack speed is 1.2 seconds. So if we do the quick calculations here, her damage on average is 42, and 42 average damage is not that bad. It's definitely higher than Dinas and Lyn, as far as, basic attack goes, so that's good. Her armor is 65%, so that means that her efficient HP is gonna be 1371.4, which is pretty decent. Pretty good amount of durability and good damage output. Not bad. As far as her speed goes, it's medium, or as he put it, similar to, let's say, Ulrich. So, Ulrich level of speed. So she's not like super fast, but she's not like terribly slow either. Respawn 17 seconds, so yeah. You probably don't, even if she dies, which could happen, she's good. She's probably gonna come back pretty quickly. Like 17 seconds of respawn rate, it's not that bad. And then here we have this. Ina uses her cursed sword to attack, dealing physical damage with its slashes. Alright, describing how she's gonna attack. That's a nice detail. And now we're moving on to the skills where, we're in for a wild ride, guys. You may want to take a notebook with you because we have to memorize a lot of statistics, to say the least. So, first of all, we have the Heraldic Unicorn, which is a passive or innate skill, unupgradable. Yeah, innate skill is definitely the better term here, just as an FYI. When traveling long distances, Ina teleports herself by bringing her Heraldic Unicorn to move to a new location more quickly. Additionally, any units summoned by Ina that are close to her at the time of the teleportation will be teleported as well. Ina's teleport is very similar to Jack-o'-lantern's in fashion. Alright, so she gets a teleport ability. Nice. So that's what the horse is for. And I would assume that if she moves short distances, she's gonna be pretty fast because she's riding this unicorn, I would assume. So that's nice. That's nice, I suppose. Even though it says that her movement speed is medium, I don't know, maybe the horse isn't all that fast. Who knows? Alright, now, moving on to her first skill. Heraldic Aberconway Beast. Aberconway? I'm probably butchering the name, but whatever. So it's an active skill, and it has 40 seconds cooldown. Oof. 40 seconds seems like a lot, man, but let's see what the ability is. Inno summons an oh my god, this word. Aberconway Beast, and Aberconway Dragon in this case, sorry, to fight by her side. Oh my god, I'm just gonna call it the Beast. I don't want to bother to pronounce this word, especially that at such an early hour of the day. The Beast remains onto the battlefield for 20, 40, and then 80 seconds. Ooh. So, alright, before we get to the statistics, let's get this straight. 80 seconds duration, that's insane. 80 seconds. I think that's more duration than literally any ability, I think. I don't think even Vesnan's demon from the demon pact lasts that long. Jesus, 80 seconds. And because the skill has 40 seconds cooldown, you can get almost 2 of them, which is pretty darn nice. Okay, well that's already looking good. Now let's check out the statistics. 320 HP with 30 heal rate, which is okay. He's gonna take 10-ish seconds to fully heal. The damage is melee physical damage, 32 to 48, so his damage is going to be, if we do the quick calculations, I think it's going to be 33.3, which is not bad. Not bad, because as you can see, his attack rate is of 1.2 seconds. So, you know, he doesn't have like the best damage output, but he definitely has a good amount of durability, because 320 HP with 30% armor, that's 457.1 efficient HP. So that's not bad. That's a little bit stronger than a Blade Singer, I think. I could be wrong, I don't know. I probably am, but he's definitely tankier than a Forest Keeper for sure, which is nice. And the speed is fast, same as burrowing Karkinos, but obviously the beasts are not burrowing while moving. Alright, so he moves pretty fast. That is good. I like fast moving units. So yeah, let's continue reading. The beasts are units summoned by Ina. The first level of the skill gives her the ability to summon it. Level 2 gives the beast improved stats, and level 3 includes the second beast. Wait, what? Also, she summons multiples of them. Oh, so at level 2 she summons only one with better stats, but at level 3 she gets a second one. Alright, now we're talking. The beasts can be rallied on any points of the map, just like Durax clones, or any hero for that matter. If the skill is upgraded to the max level, each beast has to be rallied separately, not both at once. Okay, so that's awesome. You get 2 pretty darn good units. It's like two Forest Keepers, but a little bit beefier as far as durability goes, and you can move them separately. Pretty good. That's actually very nice to have around. Like, the thing is that if you take a look at their efficient HP, they're not tankier than Durax himself, because Durax, I believe he has 460 HP without any armor. While these guys, even though they have 30% armor, their efficient HP is only 457, which, you know, it's not bad by any means. That's good. I definitely like the beasts, you know, or the Aberconway Beast. I think I said it right this time. And also here's the reference image of the beast, and he looks pretty dope. Kinda looks like a Pokemon to me, I'm not quite sure. I don't know, there's something about the metallic spike thingies that remind me of a Pokemon, but I don't know, I haven't played Pokemon in my life, so I could be dead wrong on that, but I definitely like the design. Props for the effort of finding reference images for the ability, that's nice. Now let's move on to the next one. Okay, I skipped a little bit. So, we have the Herodica Basilisk. So it's an active skill and it has 50 seconds cooldown. Again, pretty long cooldowns. Ina summons a Basilisk to fight by her side. The Basilisk remains on the battlefield for 25, 30, and then 50 seconds. So basically he lasts for the entire cooldown at max level. Pretty nice. You can have a consistent unit that is summoned pretty consistently. So let's take a look at the statistics. 240 HP, kind of low. Whatever. 20 heal rate per second, pretty much at every level, so he's gonna take 12 seconds to fully heal. Not bad. The damage, so he has ranged and melee damage. Okay, that's good. So his ranged is true damage. Okay. Between 24 to 40 with an attack rate of 0.8. So his range damage on average is going to be, funnily enough, exactly 40. Yeah, if you do the calculations, the average DPS on this guy is 40. So 40 true damage per second is actually quite a bit. That's not bad. I mean, sure, his melee damage is pretty low, like 4 to 11. I'm not even gonna bother to do the calculations because let's just say that the damage is pretty insignificant as far as the melee goes. He does have 10% armor, which, you know, it's definitely a little bit of a something. So he has 266.6 efficient HP, which, you know, isn't a lot, but hey, at least if worst comes to worst, he can tank for just a little bit. The speed is medium, same as Gerald Lightseeker. Okay, I think 2.7 if I remember correctly. Not bad. So he's kind of like the ranged attacker. That's good. I like variety. But we have a little bit more to read, so let's go on with it. Enemies hit by the Basilisk's ranged attacks are poisoned for 3 seconds, and they are dealt 4, 6, and then 8 true damage per second, for a total of 12, 18, and then 24 true damage. Okay, so it's a nice way to do a little bit of extra true damage. Okay. The Basilisk targets his ranged attack. Targets his ranged. Sorry, I can't read today. The Basilisk targets his ranged attacks like the Sorcerer Mage Tower, prioritizing enemies not affected by the Basilisk's poison. The Basilisk is a unit summoned by Ina. The first level of the skill gives her the ability to summon it. Level 2 gives the Basilisk improved stats, and at level 3 improves the stats even further and gives 100% uptime. The Basilisk can be rallied by any position of the map, just like Durax or any other hero for that matter. Okay, and then there's also the reference image. I'm not quite sure if that's how a Basilisk should look like. I mean, if we're talking about like the mythology, it's rather a pretty big ass snake or a creature that has a. I think he went for the other route for the Basilisk. A wing of a dragon, a body and a head of a rooster, legs of a. I'm not quite sure what this is. I think they're more like raptor legs to me, just because of this big claw and the snake tail. Okay, I like the design. It looks pretty dope. Now I'm not quite sure if it can fly. Maybe it does, but judging by the movement speed, I highly doubt that it uses its wings. But it would have been nice if it could fly. Anyway, I think that this ability is pretty good. This unit, unlike the dragon, is more of a ranged attacker. You want to keep him behind the choke point and to let him hack away from the outskirts. And I like that he has targeting similar to the Sorcerer Mage, because that way you can poison at least 3 enemies. At least three enemies are gonna get affected by the poison. So that's good. You can target 3 to 4 enemies every I don't know. I just like it. I just like the targeting. The damage itself, though, it's pretty nice. 43 damage per second. That's a pretty nice addition to have around. You just keep him behind the choke point and protect it. And if worst comes to worst, he can do some little baby damage, like 4 to 11 physical damage. That's like almost nothing, but whatever. It's kind of like medium level barrack in a way, as far as melee damage goes, which is okay. I like the Basilisk. Moving on. Oops, I went a little bit further. Let's stop right here. So we have the Heraldic Twin Eagle. So it's an active skill, and the cooldown is 30 seconds. Okay. Ina summons a Heraldic double-headed eagle to fight by her side. The eagle remains on the battlefield for 15, 15, and then 30 seconds. It functions like any flying hero, and its stats are damage. So the melee damage is between 30 to 19. The attack speed is 0.5, and the speed is medium, same as Faustus. Alright, I want to make a correction. Faustus doesn't have medium movement speed, he has fast movement speed, but that's besides the point. So he doesn't seem to have any health, which is weird. So is this like an immortal unit? If it is, then oh, that's nice. So 13 to 19 true damage every 0.5 seconds, that's 32 true damage per second. God damn. So it's almost as the same strength as the Basilisk, you know, if we remove the poison capabilities that this guy has, which is pretty interesting. Alright, let's see, what do we have here? The eagle functions in the same way as the Shadow Archer's crow upgrade. Oh yeah, the crow's nest. It flies stationary until an enemy comes into range, then it latches onto the enemy and attacks it until it dies or a new target has been chosen. Alright, so it's a stationary unit. Alright. The double-headed eagle is a unit summoned by Ina. The first level of the skill gives her the ability to summon it. Level 2 gives the basilisk. Okay. I think it was meant to say the twin eagle, but whatever. So it gives them the improved stats, and at level 3 it improves the stats even further and gives it 100% uptime. The double-headed eagle can be rallied by any point of the map, just like Durex. Okay, for any matter, it can be. Oh wait, here it is. It can be rallied anywhere on the map, but when rallying it, clicking the enemy will rally the eagle to specifically target the selected enemy unit. Oh my god, I can't read. Alright, well, even though I wasn't able to read it very properly because my brain just died, I kind of get the idea. So, it is normally a stationary unit. You know, you summon it somewhere, it stays there for 30 seconds. But, if you click on a specific enemy, the eagle is gonna fly towards it. So, it has global rally point, technically speaking. You know, let's say we're playing Shrine of Eleni, for example. Let's say that the eagle gets summoned pretty much at the very exit, and you see since he deals true damage, let's just say an Avenger that's coming up pretty much from the entrance of the map. If you click on him, the eagle is just gonna fly right over him and start attacking him, which is pretty nice. You have a global mini crow. Mini crow's nest, but it is definitely stronger. I mean, the crow used to do 2 physical damage, while this guy deals between 30 to 93 damage every 0.5 seconds, which is ridiculous. I like the eagle. I'm not quite sure if I like the fact that he's immortal though. That may be a little bit too good, but you know, that's just me. Maybe it is balanced. Now we don't have any reference image for him, sadly, which is whatever. I mean, it's kind of easy to imagine. Just imagine an eagle with 2 heads. That's pretty much what it is. Okay, now we're moving on to the next ability, Blood Moon. So it's a passive skill. Any level gains the mechanic of the Blood Moon. The Blood Moon is tracked at the top of the screen in a half circle. When it reaches the center of the half circle, it stops there for a while. During this time, the screen gains a red filter. Okay. The Blood Moon is active for 10, 20, and then 30 seconds, and after it ends, it takes 30 seconds for the Blood Moon to reach the center of the half circle again. So it's like a 60-second total cycle, and for half of the time, the ability is active. Alright, and then here's how the game is gonna look like with the filter. I'm not quite sure if I like it. It could be a little bit hard on the eyes, but you know, we're not here to care about our eyesight, we're here about originality, and so far, I'm really digging this hero. Okay, I scrolled a little bit further again. This is an example of a level under the Blood Moon. Ina and all her summoned units gain special buffs while under the Blood Moon. Alright, so it gives buffs. While under the Blood Moon, Ina's basic attacks now deal true damage. Additionally, she gets a new unique attack only active under the Blood Moon. Alright, well, that's the part where I was like, where I told you guys to bring a notepad, because now we have to take in a lot more statistics. Let's go. Ina gains a special area attack that has cooldown of 6 seconds. The area attack deals between 36 to 87 true damage, and has the same area of effect as the area of effect of the Holy Order's special attack. Alright, so it happens every 6 seconds, so if I remember her attack rate, that's like every five-ish attacks. Every five-ish attacks, she's gonna do this, and that's not bad. I mean, sure, it's not like super great, but it's definitely something. And the average damage that you're gonna get out of it is somewhere around 43.9, I think, or 44 rounded up. So 44 true damage, not bad. That's not bad, I guess. It is okay. Now let's keep going. While under the Blood Moon, the beasts have their attack damage increased to 36 to 42, 40 to 48, and then 44 to 50. So they're gonna do how much they're gonna do actually. Let me just do the quick calculations. So if we take this into considerations, they're gonna do. I think I wrote it somewhere. Oh yeah, there it is. So they're gonna do 39.3 damage per second on average, which you know it's not bad. It's definitely an improvement from their normal damage. You know they used to do 33.3, now they do 39.3. So it's a slight improvement, but it is an improvement nonetheless. And then we also have even more things to take into consideration. The beasts gain a special bite attack that deals between 42 to 51 physical damage, and the beast gain 50% of the damage it dealt as health points. The bite attack has a cooldown of 6 seconds. Alright, so again, every 5-ish attacks, it can just bite people and regenerate a little bit of extra HP. Alright, that's nice. It's not a lot of regeneration, I mean, at most it's gonna regenerate 25 HP, but still, it's something nonetheless. While under the Blood Moon, the Basilisk's poison duration increased to 6 seconds for a total of 24, 36, and then 48 true damage for the duration of the poison. Alright, so you're getting double poison damage. Pretty good. Sorry, I have to take a sip of water. Give me a sec. Okay, let's continue. Where was I? Oh yeah, here it is. The Basilisks gains a special spit barrage attack that makes the basilisk spew a pool of poisonous spit on the path from a distance, just like Faustus. Any enemy caught in the pool is poisoned. In the pool of poison will lose 6, 10, and then 14 health points per second. So it's technically true damage. An enemy that leaves the pool of poison will be poisoned for 3 seconds, dealing 4, 6, and then 8 true damage per second. The pool acid lasts for 8 seconds and has a cooldown of 14 seconds. And here's the image of the pool acid. Alright, so that's a pretty generous AoE. It's pretty big, as you can see. You can definitely call in at least 5 enemies at least, so that's pretty dope. The damage itself is pretty nice. Like if you manage to keep them for 8 seconds, you're gonna do quite a bit of damage. So yeah, that's a nice addition. That's a nice addition to the Basilisks. Now he has better truth. Now his poison damage is doubled from his basic attacks, and he can toss in this huge spit barrage and poison even more people. Wonderful. Okay, while under the Blood Moon, the double-headed eagle gains a special buff. Any enemy that has the eagles attached to it will take 25% more damage from all sources, not including the twin eagle itself. All right, so now you want to use them more carefully. Instead of making him target random enemies, you want him to target specific enemies. And it doesn't say that it doesn't specify that it doesn't work on bosses though. So imagine fighting like Badge Niman with the seagull under a Blood Moon. You're gonna do quite a bit of damage. I liked. Pretty good. Pretty good buffs. All these buffs and special attacks disappear while the Blood Moon is not active. Alright, makes sense. The Blood Moon skill adds a completely new mechanic, I think it's mechanic, but whatever. Mechanic to any level. The Blood Moon is tracked on the top of the screen, just as the Full Moon mechanic from Kingdom Rush Frontiers. It doesn't have any effect on the enemies or troops. Only Ina and her spawnable heraldic beasts. Alright. Well, I think the Blood Moon is definitely good, but it makes her even more complicated than she already is. Now, not only do you have to memorize the statistics of the beasts, but also you have to memorize all the buffs that he receives. So, yeah, you definitely are gonna need a lot of brain capacity in order to understand what's going on. But you think that's over? Oh no, sir. We have the ultimate ability, the Heraldic Crest. So that's her ultimate skill, and it's gonna have 60, 50, and then 40 seconds cooldown. So assume every time you level it up, the cooldown gets reduced by 10 seconds. Not bad. 40 seconds cooldown is actually pretty dope. I like it. But let's see what the ability does. With the power of the Heraldic crest, Ina is able to awaken the dire primal forms of Ina's heraldic companions. The ultimate skill will give you a cursor that has interactions when clicked on Ina, the beast, the basilisks, and the twin eagle. If given, all right. Oh my god! I just realized what is gonna happen. Now we have to memorize another statistics. No. Alright, well, I'm back. I made the calculations, and now we can get on with it. So, if you use the Heraldic crest on Ina, she gets the following statistics. 600 HP, so her HP gets increased quite a bit. Her heal rate is only 49 though, so she's gonna take a little bit longer to fully heal than while she was in her regular form. The damage, she deals ranged magic damage. So does she switch her damage type completely, or is this like an additional damage? I think she loses her melee damage properties and she gets this ranged damage, which is good. 37 to 86 is a pretty good amount, but due to the attack speed, which is 1.4 seconds, that means that her total DPS on average is gonna be 44 rounded up. It's supposed to be 43.9, but 44 rounded up is a little bit more simpler number to remember. So it's definitely a decent increase from her basic damage. You know, not only are you getting higher DPS, but you're also getting magic damage. So she could be pretty useful. I mean, yeah, sure, there are against magic resistant enemies now she's not gonna be as good, but still. 80% armor. Holy crap, that's a lot of armor. That means that her efficient HP is 3000. That's a ton of efficient HP. That's like Gerald Lightseeker level of tankiness right here. If you remove the Shield of Retribution, that is. Her speed is medium speed, same as Doom Tank. All right, so she moves a little bit faster, which is nice. I mean, she's on a carrot instead of her riding a unicorn. Now she's in a carrot by 4 unicorns. So four unicorns should be faster than one, right? So yeah, here we have an additional information. Ina in her carriage functions as the Doom Tank SG-11. She cannot block enemies. Oh, okay. And shoots magical orbs of energy from her carriage onto enemies. Ina even has the spiky slugs effect of Doom Tank, dealing 1 damage for every 0.2 seconds. The enemy is under if the enemy is under Ina while she is moving. Additionally, any enemies being walked past by Ina will be burned for 4 seconds. The fire deals 6 damage per second for a total of 24 damage. Alright. So does the fire deal physical damage? Fire to me seems like it should be doing true damage, but he doesn't specify, so I don't know. But it's definitely nice. You know, if you ever get bored, you can just run people over with your carrot and set them ablaze. That's definitely it will be pretty dope to look at. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. If given to the beast, the crest will enhance the power of its abilities, turning it into Aberconway Brute. The stats of the Aberconway Brute are... Okay, let's take a look at them. 320 HP. Heal rate per second of 26. Okay, so it's gonna take a little bit longer to regenerate. Damage, melee physical damage, 29 to 34. Attack speed of 0.8 seconds, alright. So his damage now is... let me just think about it. 39.3. Which is definitely a small improvement from his normal attacks. Like, usually he used to do 33.3 damage per second in his regular form, but now, if he's affected by the crest, he's gonna do a little bit more damage on average. He has 50% armor, so he's definitely beefier. Now he has a total of, if I round it up, it's let me just think, 640 efficient HP. I'm pretty sure that's the number. And speed medium, same as Varuk. Alright, so he moves... I don't know if his movement speed gets affected. I don't remember his movement speed at this point because of how many other things I have to memorize here. So yeah, let's see what we have here. An Aberconway Brute is roughly the same size as a Dark Slayer. Oh, so he's a thick boy. If under the Blood Moon, the Brute will gain all the same buffs as the Aberconway Beast. Okay, an Aberconway Beast uptime will be paused when transformed into an Aberconway Brute, and will continue after the duration of the Heraldic crest ends. Additionally, the Aberconway Brute has a special ability. It will constantly regenerate health. Also, that's a constant regeneration, 26 HP per second. God damn. So yeah, he is a beefy boy. I mean, look at that. Holy crap, that looks dope. Look at this picture. Oh my god, he looks so dope. Pretty dope image. I don't know from where he found them, but holy crap, that's pretty nice piece of art right here. Okay, so the Blood Moon has to be taken into consideration. Oh, that was my worst fear. What if you combine the Crest and the Blood Moon? Well, I guess we have this monstrosity of a unit. Now let's move on to the next summon, the Basilisks, I think, yeah. If given to the Basilisk, the Crest will invoke a disease within the Basilisk, turning it into Plague Basilisks. The stats of the Plagued Basilisks are... Alright. 180 HP, 20 health points per second as a regeneration, not bad. His range damage will be 32 to 49 true damage, so that's good. That's 50.6 true damage per second, definitely a noticeable improvement. His melee damage is... Oh my god, his melee damage is definitely much bigger. It used to be like 4 to 11, now it's 24 to 40. Jesus. So his melee damage will be 40 damage rounded up. Nice, that's good. 20% armor, so his efficient HP will be 225. Not bad. And fast movement speed, same as Ignis. Alright, so you can move him around pretty fast if needed. Let's see what we have here. A Plague Basilisk is roughly the same size as Mounted Avenger. Mounted Avenger? Oh, yeah, the beefy guys from Origins, yeah, I remember them. While under the Blood Moon, oh my god, again, the Plague Basilisk gains the Spit Barrage attack. A Plague Basilisk will poison an enemy it hits within a range or melee attacks. The poison will last for 3 seconds and it will deal 33 damage per second, so 93 damage total. Not bad. If an enemy dies to a Plague Basilisk's poison, it will leave a pool of toxic waste on the ground. The size of the pool depends on the size of the enemy. Oh, so size matter in this case, giggity. The pool will deal 23 damage for every second they're in the pool. I would assume physical damage because it doesn't say it's true damage. The Basilisk's uptime will be paused when transformed into a Plague Basilisk. After the duration of the Heraldic Crest ends, the plague becomes too much for the Basilisk to handle, and the Basilisk will explode on that, dealing between 320 to 360 true damage in an area. The cooldown of the Basilisk to respawn will begin after the Plague Basilisk has exploded, and that's the image of the Basilisk, or the Plague Basilisk. And he definitely looks much doper. I mean, look at that. Look at that. That's definitely a terrifying being that I will not like to encounter. Damn, so the Basilisk becomes significantly stronger. Unlike the Brute, which, you know, the Brute definitely becomes stronger, but this guy, oh my god, he becomes so much better. Not only does his range damage becomes higher, but his melee damage gets increased significantly. He gets a little bit of extra durability, and on top of that, he deals much more poison damage, and he explodes, and that explosion could be pretty strong. So yeah, once the duration, before the duration is over, you can just set them in the middle of a horde and do up to 360 true damage. That can easily annihilate Twilight Harassers on Impossible. That would be dope. I would definitely want this Basilisk to be on my side, because Harassers are definitely one of the worst enemies in the game, and imagine blowing up a huge horde of them just like that. Now, he doesn't specify the AoE of the explosion, but I would assume it is pretty big. Maybe something like Shatter's final countdown, maybe. Alright, now let's move on to the Eagle. If given to the Twin Eagle, the crest will fully transform the body of the Eagle, turning it into Burner Falcon. Burner Falcon? I think that's what it is. The stats of the Burner Falcon are 60 HP. Oh, so now he gets HP what? Okay. Heal rate per second 3, so he's gonna take 20 seconds. That's a lot. The damage is melee physical damage. Oh, so he doesn't do true damage anymore. Well, sad. but he deals between 46 to 54 damage per every 1.4 seconds. So that means that his average damage is actually not so much. 35.7 average physical damage. I don't know if that's better than what was it? I think that's a little bit of a what was the word? Damn it. Re- uh, re- redundancy, because if you remember the statistics of the eagle, it can do 32 average true damage per second. Meanwhile, this guy can do only 35.7 physical damage per second, and that matters. Now he's gonna be more restricted. Instead of sending him against any enemy doing a lot of damage, now you have to be taking armor into consideration. But there's probably a good reason for it, so let's keep on reading. He has no armor, so he's pretty easily killed, and the speed is very fast, same as turbocharging Rocket Rider. Turbocharging? I think it was the I think he's referring to the Nitro Booster. The Nitro Booster from I think that was an ability from the Rocket Riders. So let's say he moves very fast. Let's just say that. So the respawn time is 2 seconds. Okay. So even if he dies, he's gonna come back almost immediately. So okay. If under the Blood Moon, the enemy the Falcon is lashed onto will receive 30% extra damage from all sources. Alright, 5% more than his normal form. Good. Ranged enemies can target and kill the Burner Falcon using their ranged attacks. Well, that was expected. If killed, the Burner Falcon will cripple the armor and magic resistance of all nearby enemies by 30%. After the duration of the Heraldic Crest ends, the Falcon will transform back into the Heraldic Twin Eagle. Alright. Wow, that's interesting. So, because that's actually pretty OP. Now, he doesn't say that it doesn't stack, but if it stacks, oh my god. That's gonna be pretty darn OP. He needs to die pretty much 3 times and the entire resistance of a horde of enemies is gone. That will be OP. Okay, alright, all Heraldic Crest transformations last for 15, 20, and then 25 seconds. So if I remember correctly, the cooldown is 40 seconds. Let me just scroll back real quick. Yes, 40 seconds. So it lasts a little bit over half of the half of the time. Well, that's dope. That's nice. It's gonna cost 2, and then 3 hero points. And I just realized that I haven't been reading the hero points cost throughout this video, so my dearest apologies. Moving on to the hero quotes. Oh, there's actually quite a lot of hero quotes. Interesting. Alright, let's think about it, how I'm gonna interpret her voice. I will bring forth the wild hunt. Let the power of the crest consume you. Out of the shadows and into the light. To believe or disbelieve, the choice is yours. Upon that, curse you, new maker! Alright, oh my god, I just cringe every time I try to make an interpretation. But anyway, let's get into the next quotes. Upon giving the heraldic crest to Ina, may the crest be granted to the heraldic unicorn Bask? What? Bask, alright. Bask in the light of its sacred fire. Upon giving the heraldic crest to the Arbor Corway Beast. Oh my god, do I have to... Oh no, I have to read this again, oh no. May the power crest be granted to the heraldic Abercorway. Awaken its ancient power and let it become immense. Upon giving the heraldic crest to the Basilisk, may the crest be granted to the heraldic Basilisk. The disease coursing through its blood will flow through this land. I think it's supposed to say flow, but plow. Okay. Anyway, and then last but not least, upon giving the heraldic crest to the Twin Eagle, may the crest be granted to the heraldic eagle. It shall revert back to its origins and fly the skies once more. Alright, sorry if I'm not interpreting her quotes very perfectly, but I'm not a voice actor, so you get what you can get, right? You get what you paid for, which is pretty much nothing. Okay, now let's get into his final paragraph where he explains why he made Ina. Okay, let's give it a read. Why I made Ina. Ina is my second hero concept. My first hero, Narcissus, yep, I was right, it was Narcissus, was a pretty generically strong hero with many skills that that don't feel connected and don't follow a consistent theme. That was an issue I wanted to fix with Ina. Firstly, I wanted to take inspiration from perhaps the Kingdom Rush series. Most complex and micro-involved hero, Durex. Durex is a definitely balanced hero that involves 3 copies of the same guy, all of which are equal individuals that are used in oh my god, I can't read today. Interchangeably. I wanted to throw that perfect balance out of the window with Ina. Oh yeah, that definitely shows. I wanted to make what is essentially Durex on ketamine, an absolutely insane mess of a hero that would be an absolute blast to play. The Jolly Gang includes Ina, a hero with good statistics to confiscate to comp, I think it's to confiscate for the fact that that she doesn't have any abilities by default. The Arbor oh my god, this word, man. I shouldn't be reading this early in the morning, but I do. The Abercorway Beast, a set of 2 bulky units. The Basilisk, a ranged attacker with poison damage, and the Twin Eagle, the far better version of the Shadow Archer Scroll. None of these are treated equally, as all should be used for different purposes. Then there's the Blood Moon, which only serves as an over the top way to both Ina and her companions, which adds to the theme of the purple unhinged chaos of a hero that is Ina. And then there's the Heraldic Crest, a device that will serve as a way to cram in even more insane mechanics into the mix, such as Ina's carriage, a mini me version of Doomtank, and oh my god, the Corway Brute, a monstrous tank, the Plague Basilisks, a ranged killer and the Burner Falcon, an armor crippling flying beast. Ina's story is an odd one. I initially planned on extending it further and talk about the story of the Newmaker plane and Manfred von Newmaker himself, but I decided against that because I plan on making Newmaker as a different hero concept. Ooh, spicy. But back to the point. Ina's story offers a logical reason to her intense abilities because she's in lead of the Heraldic army. Overall, I feel very proud of this hero, and I feel she is a major step up from Narcissus. I hope my future hero ideas will follow the same track and keep improving. Yours, Sergeant S. Well, dear Sergeant, you did an amazing job, to say the least. First of all, the backstory, you definitely did a good job with it. Even though I read it poorly, I still appreciate it. Like, it really makes sense from her. It really makes sense. I like the fact that you put in so much effort into it. I love that you also put in a reference image for nearly every ability and transformation, which is just goes to show you how much extra work this guy decided to put in for this hero, and that's quite awesome. As far as the hero herself goes, she's definitely very strong. I mean, looking at her, originally she's kind of like a Dean. She's kind of like a stronger version of Prince Dinas. You know, she has better damage output, she has slightly more durability, and she also has better regeneration, of course. As far as her movement speed goes, I like it. I like fast moving heroes. The beast, the dragon thingies, they are definitely pretty dope. I think that they're solid blockers. And yeah, I just like the idea behind this hero. Then the Basilisk, as he said, he is a super beefy ranged unit, and he definitely is. The Eagle, definitely a nice addition, and I don't know, this hero is so overwhelming, man. Like, there's so much information about this hero going on. He's kind of like I think he said it the best at one point here. Let me just see it. Oh yeah, there it is. I wanted to make what is essentially Durax on ketamine. That's pretty much what this hero is, indeed, because holy crap. There's so much micro-involvement in this hero, I love it. It's like, this hero will be harder to use than Durax if she was ever invented into the game. Which she probably isn't, because, let's face it, she is a little bit too over the top. Like, the beasts that she summons are very, very strong, and especially after you use the Blood Moon on them, they become even stronger. And then the Blood Moon gets combined with the Crest, which is just adds an additional layer of deepness. Like, just for the deepness alone, I'm gonna give this hero a 10 out of 10. Yeah, you heard me right, 10 out of 10. I haven't given any hero so far 10 out of 10, but this hero I think deserves it. Very unique. I like how he focused solidly on the summoning mechanic. Sure, summons are not something very unique because, you know, let's face it, we've seen summons pretty much ever since the original Kingdom Rush with Illyria and Ingvar Bearclaw. And yeah, it's not super unique, but it's definitely, but it's unique in the way that no hero in the game is based around summons, solidly speaking. And she is. She's pretty dependent on her beast, but even if her beast ended up dying, she's still a very strong hero and she can hold her ground for quite a while. I definitely like the deepness of this hero, but I think if it was ever invented, I think it will not be the best hero choice for the newcomers, because this is so overwhelming. Like, first things first, you have to memorize the beast's stats and what they do, what they can do, what they're good for. Like, you need to know that the dragon thing, he's a good blocker. You need to know that the Basilisk is meant to be a ranged attacker and not fighting in melee. And then you have to know that the Ego can be targeted, apparently, even though he is stationary, quote-unquote. And then, here comes the Blood Moon, where you have to memorize even more stuff. And it's pretty much for half of the game, you need to know, since this is gonna be happening pretty much for half of the game. Because of its 60-second cycle, let's say an average Kingdom Rush Origins game is like 15 minutes, you know, if you're doing a campaign stage. For 7 minutes, you have to know these statistics up in here. Like, everything from this point to this. Everything needs to be memorized in order to know what's gonna happen. You need to know that Tina is gonna get this pretty good true damage attack, so you have to micromanage her more properly. You have to know that the beast becomes stronger and that he can heal himself now. You need to know that the Basilisk can do double damage and can send this poison attack. You need to also know that the Ego becomes stronger and that it matters which enemy you're gonna be targeting, because the enemy is gonna take 25% more damage from all sources. Do you see the problem here? And then we also have the Heraldic Crest, which just adds an additional layer, and I'm not even gonna bother trying to explain it because I'm just gonna get lost in my words. To be honest, very complicated hero. I think that's my only complaint. You made it a little bit too complicated. Like, sure, I think with time everyone can understand this hero and how she functions, but for the time being, it's definitely very overwhelming. Like, it's gonna take me quite a while to fully understand this hero, and I don't think I'm giving it a fair run for its money with this review, because I think I need to read through this like at least 3 more times in order to understand everything, because this hero is super complex, but I love it nonetheless. Sergeant, I think you did a very good job. Not only did you succeed in your goal, but you exceeded my expectations by a mile. I'm proud of you, man. And I hope that you make more hero designs in the future, because you definitely have talent. Not only for the backstory, but the backstory definitely it is good. And the thing is that it's not very long. Like, that's the issue with my hero designs personally. When I make a hero design, I always overdo it with the backstory. If you've seen videos from Vduke or Lightning Run or Chunky Rush where they reviewed some of my hero designs, you know that I overdo it with the story by a mile. and that's kind of the issue with me. I can write short and good stories. That's just not my thing. So props to you, Sergeant, for having this unique property. And as far as the hero mechanics, I'm proud. I like, you put in a ton of effort probably into this, and it shows. Well done, Sergeant. I salute you. I'm proud. Whew. Alright, guys. Well, with that out of the way, that's gonna do it for the video. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I appreciate you for sticking around to the end. Subscribe if you want to see more of this content in the future. And while you're at it, drop a like on the video. It means a lot to me. And now I am gonna have to rest because my throat is pretty much starting to burn from all this, from so much reading. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Until it comes, that was King Rexy. Over and out.